So I stopped the guy and I was asking him, "Did you lose anything?" in Spanish. To which Jeremy is like in his face, money. And the guy's like takes it and leaves. And I go, "Jeremy, what the heck?" He goes, "I thought you said it was his money." I said, "No, I said I think it's his money." I am investigating to see.
So he's like, "Did you lose this?" "Oh, yes, I did. Thank you."
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Evocative Gamers podcast. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about why everyone should be playing video games. There's a lot of benefits to video games that I think not enough people give enough insight into. And so today we're going to be demystifying all of the crazy things that maybe you're not considering when you should be actually playing video games. Hey Danny, how are
What's
you?
up, Alex? How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good. Are you subscribed to the channel?
Yes, of course I am.
You know who's not subscribed to the channel? The people watching. So if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, you should definitely hit subscribe now.
I
And
was
also
gonna
drop
say
a like.
Tony.
Tony, Tony, you know you haven't subscribed.
I had my answer.
All right, so I wanted to talk about the why everybody should play video games because there's so much value to video games. I think mainstream media and the majority of people just see video games as a pastime, right? As something that you do to, pass the time. But there's so many lessons and so many institutional values that you can get out of video gaming that I kind of wanted to address some of these with you in today's podcast.
Yeah. Did you see my Instagram post I posted with Master Chief like 3 days ago, maybe 4?
No, what was it?
It was it's a meme. It goes, "Her, why is my guy so loyal?" And then he goes, "Me playing Halo." And then the Master Chief is right there, and Cortana's like, "You came back for me." He goes, "When I make a promise." She goes, "You keep it."
I mean, we become creatures and develop the habits of the things that influence us as we grow up, right? And like my wife today, she sees a lot of the shows that I used to watch growing up, and she sees a lot of the characteristics and my behaviors in those shows.
Are you the Green Power Ranger? Is that what you're saying?
No, but like subconsciously, like there's things that just stuck with you that again you don't really know or maybe acknowledge them, but subconsciously a lot of your ideals, right? A lot of who you are today is governed and influenced by the things that you did as a little kid.
Yep, I agree with that actually a lot.
So the games that we spent so much of our time playing, the storylines and the narratives in those games, they do have an impact and influence.
What's your most impactful game that hit you?
That hit me.
Hmm?
Um, I don't know that I have a particular line or anything, but
God of
if
War.
I,
I hate everyone. Just kidding.
no, I think one of the most impactful games that I've ever played that has like really, had a profound impact in my life has to be, if I had to narrow it down, it would have to be with Halo, right? It would have to be with like Finish the Fight, especially when we got into Halo 3. And it stood out to me because like I'm really big on a vision and mission. Like I think it helped develop who I eventually became from like a career perspective. Because like the whole premise of like Finish the Fight, right? It was like you had an objective in it, and I think it taught me that you need to have a goal, right? You need to have goals in your life, and you need to have like lines in the sand. I try to make up lines in sand together at the same time.
Lands.
Lands. You have to make lines in the sand, and you have to have this like objective of what you're trying to hit. I think without that, right? Without because there was such a huge campaign with Finish the Fight, right? With Halo 3. So that to me is the biggest one. Then I think closely followed by Gears of War. I think Gears of War was very important for me. But I think probably if I had to really, really think about this a little bit more, it would be Kingdom Hearts. I think
I didn't play it.
no, you never played it. It was my first RPG, and it's Disney aside because I love Disney, but just the concept of that teamwork between Goofy, Donald, and Sora, and having to deal with the struggles and love and fighting for your love, and because it goes deeper than Princess Peach, right? Because Mario and Princess Peach, there's really no backstory.
Yeah,
So
just
much, so much missing backstory that in fact the Super Mario movie can get away with saying that Bowser is really secretly in love with her, because we never got any of that like love, right? But with Kingdom Hearts, like especially when I was a teenager, and here's a teenage kid in love with his teenage girlfriend, and like she gets taken away, and like he does whatever he can to try to get her back, and then he develops this like friendship with this clumsy group of Donald and Goofy, and they're just trying to figure life out, and he's doing things, and he's more braver than he thinks he is.
That's actually pretty cool lessons right there.
A lot of good games, but I didn't want to bring up for a new topic. Well, actually, before we go to the new topic, what's the most influential game you've had?
The Halo series, of course. Like I said, the Master Chief. I think it's really cool how insurmountable odds, and he's like, Chief, what do you do with that bomb? Give it back to the Covenant. He freaking flies out of the. That's Halo 2. He flies out and he delivers the bomb, and I think that was really cool. And I don't know, like as a kid, I think everyone was always like, "Oh, Halo's bad. Halo's this and that," because you can't. For kids playing an M-rated game was seen as bad, but I feel like Halo taught me so much as a kid. So I'm like, I don't know. I can't see the bad.
Yeah, but not only that, but like, I think there's a great transition to the next like topic, which would be like the amount of teamwork that you develop in playing video games, right? Like, I've had people, because my kids do not play sports at all, right? And I often joke about this, and I tell people like, "Are you kidding me? My kids." My kids see a ball and they go opposite of the like, if the ball's coming this way, they go the other way. They're really good at avoiding the obstacle.
Yeah.
But again, jokes aside, like, but then their biggest thing is like, well, how are they supposed to learn like teamwork and how to work with others and like and stuff like that? I'm like, the video games, they're in it every day, building things collaboratively, and the discussions that my kids have, like in Minecraft. Have you heard of Minecraft Realms?
Yeah.
Yeah. So my kids. Yeah. So my kids buy it for the summer because all their cousins get together for the summer, and you can save, right? Like you can save your world, and you can all work collaboratively. And but the amount of friction that they have to go through, the dynamic. But because there's a large dynamic, right? We have 16-year-olds down to like 8-year-olds in here, right? Because there's like 10 cousins that are all playing in here together.
Yeah.
And so the big ones that are a little bit older, they're doing things to the little ones, right? And the little ones are mischievous and do things to the big ones. And so there's a lot of dynamic of, just differences of opinion, like a lot of conflict. Yet they still have to somehow figure it out every day.
Yeah.
And none of them, like, they all talk to each other. They haven't stopped talking to each other.
They're on their headsets and they're playing. I feel like, do you remember Halo 2's clan system online?
Barely. I remember you mentioned, like back in the day, you mentioning it, but not.
Yeah, I was part of a clan. So my clan had over 1,000 people in it, and every clan held 20. So there's chapters and segments within clans. So as a kid, I was a squeaker. I was the smallest of the clan, but I played in the same clan all the way to Halo Reach. So it's Halo 2, 3, and then Reach. So that's like, what, 9 years?
Yeah, so it's almost like a brotherhood too then.
Yeah, but that was a lot of friction, newbies coming in. Whenever there's a girl that joined the clan, that was something else. Everybody became a white knight.
Yeah.
But I think whenever you get a huge amount of players playing something, it's like dynamics, right? Everyone's got to learn to work well. I think it's even better than sports because sports keeps it age related, where in video games, I mean, the bad part is a kid can be playing with an adult, which is not good, but it happens, right?
But yeah, but there's a good diversity in it, right? And again, we keep the kids. That's why they're in the realm, because we get to control that a little bit more. But again, it still shows you, it builds a lot of character, right? Because there's a lot of conflict, and not only like conflict between humans, but there's like a lot of challenges where you got to get better from a skills perspective, right? So you're out there grinding, mastering that jump, mastering the angle, this where you're aiming things, right?
You play Minecraft. You're playing Legend of Zelda.
Some games require skills, right? And it requires you to go back in though to improve your skills.
Yeah.
So that so you don't let your team down.
Exactly. Like clan fights. Have you been in a clan fight? My clan versus your clan. 8 versus 8 on a Halo Blood Gulch. Remember Blood Gulch?
Yeah.
we're fighting, and then like I remember one time it was me and Adam playing in the clan, and we're fighting the other team, and we're getting our butt handed to us. They're winning. Then Tony joins, and his name is Shorty. Back then, his Xbox name was Shorty, SHXRTY.
Yeah.
And I remember the clan leader going, "Oh my gosh, Shorty's here, guys!" And then Tony comes and starts wiping them, and it was like, "Oh my god, that was cool, man! That was to me. I felt like I was in the game. That was all my friends, and then my cousin joined. My other cousin's already here, and that's where I spent my afternoons. That was my socialness right there.
Yeah.
Big fights.
And it only it's in today's society it only gets progressively more important to build those kind of influences and stuff, because yeah, I mean, you vibe with your tribe, right? And
yeah,
and you ultimately find your tribe where you're going to be vibing,
where you spend your time. And if
Yeah.
you're spending your time online, you'll find a tribe there. So do you know on D&D how it was the
Yeah, a
biggest
little
game
bit.
back in the 70s?
I have 3 months or less than 100 days to learn it.
You want to play? I can play with you.
Yeah.
I do have all the books.
Do you? Okay, yeah, we're in Barnes and Nobles like last weekend, and my wife was like, "You should pick up one of these books, because in Barcelona for the Latin conference I'm going to, there's going to be like a D&D night."
Okay, you know what? Me, Junior, and Tony played, but there's not enough players. If you want to play with us, but it's just really hard to get all those guys together. But if you can do it, we can play.
Yeah, if you can do it, let me know. I'll go.
Anyways, D&D, biggest game, 1970s, 80s, 90s, right before video games. I think D&D is the theater of the mind. So if I say, Alex, your character just jumped out of the window and you roll a dice, you got a 0, so you messed up your jump. It's an epic fail. Describe what happened. So you're going to go and say, well, my character tried to jump out the window and I snagged my foot on the windowsill and I face planted and I died. Something like that.
Yeah.
But it's all in your head. You just imagine everything just said, right? I think video games does the same thing, because all those fights I was telling you with Halo, I don't see them like I was playing a game in my head. I see them more like a story that I was in when I think back at those times, if that makes sense.
So it's interesting. So let's use that as a transition to the next topic. So I'm using video games to save my marriage.
Is your marriage okay?
No. I mean,
You're like this.
No, I mean, yeah, there's no problem with my marriage, it's like per se, but I think the hooky line is how to use video games to save your marriage.
Yeah.
The reality is I'm using video games to strengthen your marriage.
There you go. Okay.
Right.
Like,
strengthen, save, similar.
Same, but different.
Same. But we just picked up Split Fiction, which,
oh my gosh,
I don't know if you've played it or not.
It looks amazing, but I don't have a second player to play with.
Interestingly enough, you can't proceed without the second player.
No, you need
It won't let you. You are not getting very far up in the title screen without a second player.
There's another game after you finish that one. It Takes Two. It was the original.
Was it by the makers? Yeah, it's on the box. It says from the makers of It Takes Two.
You gotta get that one, dude. That one's good too. It's scary.
Yeah, but the premise of Split Fiction is that these people write a story, and they wrote like some sort of like a graphic novel or something.
2 different genres, right? One science and one fantasy.
Yeah, and so they write it, but then there's like this publisher that promises them that they're gonna publish their story, but they ended up like falling victim to like this like bait and switch, where now they have this suit on that puts them into their story, and so they have to experience their story, which is an interesting premise. So that's kind of why I'm transitioning here from your Halo story here, right? But Split Fiction is so powerful because my wife has never really played games before. And so her ability to jump is challenging for her.
Camera, just controlling the camera is like...
No. She's okay with the camera angle, but just mastering the jump. Like I can hear her, because I tell her you need a double tap, like you double jump, double A. So you got to jump, but you got to time it, right? Because it's a timing thing. Because sometimes you'll clear the jump, sometimes you won't, and you need that little extra boost. And there's a double tap and a sprint type of thing you can do. Yeah, lunge. And so you can do like it's a 3-button move, but she's like hammering the 3 out in one shot. I'm like, no, you can't do that. So I'm having to learn to communicate with her without getting frustrated.
Interesting.
Because we have to work together. And it's interesting because the game intentionally sets you up in these paths where you almost have to diverge and walk each other through it, so you get to the goal that you got to do to like
I
enable
said
the
that
next
red
game.
wire.
Well, there's like a balancing one where like somebody's got to be on one side so that like there was this great part where there's like these giant golems or something like that, these big giant ogres, I think is what you call them, and they're
Mhm.
throwing rocks at you and they'll kill you. And so one of them has to like chuck a rock at the guy that's like turned his back. It'll cause him to turn so that your partner can run to the
Mhm.
next
But then she's
ogre.
got to do the same thing, probably.
And you got to do the same thing so that you're having to teammate yourself and timing it, and so there's a lot of coordination happening and communication happening between the two, and it's a high stress environment because like I can feel her heart rate like going up, and like her, she's getting frustrated and annoyed, and I'm like, and again, I think it's a great way to learn how to speak with your spouse and work with your spouse
Yeah.
or
That's more
any.
for you for patience, right? Because I'm sure you're clearing the levels and waiting for her.
There was two moments where I'm like, you know what, just give me the control. It's gonna be easier.
So when I first played video games with my wife, we were playing Super Smash Bros. And she kicked my butt.
Did she?
And I took my first date with her. It was an arcade, and she beat me at every freaking game there. Not even trying to lose either. So yeah, there's a lot of life lessons in video games.
No, I think for me it's been very valuable and important because the video games have been such a huge part of my life,
Yeah.
but they've been non-existent in her life. Like
And so her
she,
sons and now her husband is playing video games.
yeah, and so now her children are super into the games, and she gets more frustrated. She's like, "Well, you introduced it to them. Like, you showed it to them. You bought this for them."
Who showed them Roblox? Who was the maker of this mess?
It was me. It was me, but I don't.
It
So
was me. What he said it.
so the double-edged sword. So I do a lot of reflection now, right? Because I think
Here,
back on
should I have done Roblox?
and the game aside, I'm doing reflection because I'm trying to remember and think how much time I spent playing games a day.
I don't remember you playing video games at all. Even when I was playing Halo 2 and 3, it was mostly with Junior down to Tony, Adam in the middle there. But I don't remember playing with the White Tiger at all. The Muffin Man, non-existent in my life.
Christina gave me that name. And
These
Halo,
are his usernames. I'm not just being some weirdo.
yeah,
This is Alex's names that I'm sure you're still the White Tiger somewhere.
Christina. I remember we were playing Rockets.
Halo
I remember
Rocket.
playing Rockets, and Christina's like, "Oh no, the Muppet Man's coming again." I just
Because your
dominated
emblem of
Rockets.
the Muffin, wasn't it?
Yeah, my little name that Halo used to assign randomly
Yeah.
was Muffin Man. Christina was like, "The Muffin Man, the Muffin Man."
Yeah, so you haven't really played video games like that with us since at least my 6th grade.
Yeah, but also you got to remember that your 6th grade meant that I was in
Your high school, about to go to college.
about to go to college.
What a waste. I was just telling Tony that earlier. I was like, man, he's like, how old are you? 33? I'm like, no, that's Junior. I'm like, I'm 30. And then I'm like, dude, Alex is 36. And then Tony's like, whoa, if I take a step back, whoa, we're old. I'm like, look at Jeremy, because he posted a picture of your son. And I'm like, he looks like a man now. I remember that kid was like 2 or 3, and he pointed at my stomach and called me fat.
Yeah, no, but no, seriously, like I remember in high school. So I remember waking up in the morning. I'd wake up around 10, go get on my
Heck,
bike.
what are you doing 10 in the morning?
Waking up.
You sleep in, huh?
Yeah,
Jeez, bro.
summers. What did you do your summers in high school?
I would wake up early and start playing. I'd go to sleep at 3 a.m., wake up at 6 a.m. Let's do it.
Oh no. We didn't have online play like you did. I would have to wake up at 10 a.m. or whatever when I was waking up because my friends were. I had to wait for my friends to wake up too. So I get on my bike and I ride my bike to my
Ew.
friend's house. I'd ride my bike to my friend's house and we would play Midnight Club 2 on the PS2 for
the racing
hours.
game?
Yeah.
Mhm.
We would play for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. And it was then I'd go to your house and we'd play Cell Damage or something for hours and hours and hours.
Oh yeah. And then you go home and you
Then I
play
come home and play
PlayStation 2.
Then I play Guitar Hero for hours and hours and hours.
I did not know you were much of a gamer, dude. When I think gamer in the family, I do not associate Alex with it that much.
But that's only because I dropped off when online play became popular.
Yeah, Halo 2.
Yeah, but that would have been 2003, 2004, and I didn't have time at that point. At that point, I ran out of more time.
I
Yeah,
make time. Just do it. Nike.
yeah, but again, but I'm still reflecting though, right? And I'm like, I remember doing New Year's Eve until midnight playing Halo Crosslink, right? LAN parties and having 8 players, 16 players. I think the most we ever had was like 8 players, right? 2 Xboxes hooked up.
Yeah.
That's all we were able to figure out how to do.
I don't know how they still do LAN, I think, for like competitions nowadays.
Yeah.
But there's no lag, right?
But me playing video games, at least offline, was something that consumed a good portion of my time. So that's why I'm like, I'm not phased. I'm not concerned that my son spends that much time because I know I turned out okay. But my wife on the other hand, she's freaking out. She's like, nope, this has to stop. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm not convinced yet. I would like for my son to turn more into entrepreneurial though, right? I'd want for him to make his own games because those are opportunities you and I didn't have growing up. Like, what would you do if you had an idea for a game when you were 13, 14 years old?
I feel like I have all those written down in a notebook. I always had mine weren't ideas for games; they were stories for games. So I still come up with stories.
So you should, but with Jibbity now though, you can bring all that to life.
Yeah, but I started writing my story maybe like last year. I was telling Tony, I like it. It's just I don't think, like I was telling my wife, I'd rather have this just for Elias to read and Silas in the future when he's born, rather than to make something out of it for money. It's more like just a passion project then. But maybe if I was younger, like Jeremy's age, it'd be different. Because doors close as you get older, unfortunately.
Some doors, but many more open.
That's true. You do have money.
I'm telling you right now. So going back to Split Fiction, my wife and I, it starts off with the story, and my wife goes, "This is strange. This is interesting because no games today are opening with story. Like Roblox has no stories."
Fortnite, there was a story. Every season they'll add like a little
but it's not
video.
But it wasn't a saga like Halo, man.
No, Halo was a story, dude.
There was nothing like the 3 or 4 Gears of War you had to play, or
Halo Infinite was going to get rid of the story. Do you remember that?
Yeah, there was just maybe this is why I don't like some of the newer games because I'm like I grew up with the storyline. Like that's why you play. The campaign was why you played a game. And that kind of shifted away like in like 2015, 2016.
What was the most recent game that came out?
With the storyline?
Yeah.
I don't know. Cyberpunk 2077.
That's a good one. Have you?
Yeah, but one of like 1,000 games that came out in the same time.
GTA 6 will have a story.
Yeah. But look how long it's taking to build that.
Yeah, I just think a lot of developers are going for the quick and easy matchmaking only because that once you beat a single player game, yeah, because you really can't make money off of it more than the initial sale, right?
Right.
I know. The game, that's it.
That's why I'm telling you that there's going to be there's going to be a season where there's going to be a lot of value placed back into history just repeats itself, right? So there's going to be moments where we're going to desire, the market's going to want story-based gaming and less microtransaction-y.
Well, Ubisoft just released a statement saying that microtransactions make the game more fun. Did you see that? Came out this morning.
I don't know about that, man. Somebody's drinking some Kool-Aid over there.
CEO, dude. But anyways,
Mario Party.
Mario Party.
Let's talk about Mario Party. What are your memories of Mario Party?
Losing. With you and Junior in my house, older than me as a little kid, losing.
Remember those stars and all the trickeries that we would play?
Remember you had to trace a thing? Look at the shape.
But those are some lessons again, right? Where we would patience, because holy moly, would those games last forever?
Yeah.
They would go forever.
Say Monopoly.
Two
How to spend
teamwork.
this thing.
A lot of teamwork built into those. Remember, there was a 2v2, 3v1.
The 3v1s are so fun. I like being the single one. Like, come on, bring it on.
You don't have to depend on 3 slackers.
Those are my sisters.
But it did teach you again a lot of camaraderie. It taught you a lot of competition and being competitive and so there's lots of lessons from that one. Super Smash Bros. Is another good one where you learn to be very competitive. That's Super Smash Bros. Was maybe one of the first
Alex
games that I
has
ever
3 lives. Let's all focus on Alex. Remember that? Focus on the guy that's winning.
learned a lot about bullying in Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah. Ran into the old people. I'm just kidding.
But again, you learn skills, right? You learn to get the best character and you learn how to master a character. Because if I recall correctly, you were kicking butt with Samus.
Still do. Samus is
And then I think Junior was Captain Falcon, no?
He always Falcon punched us right in the face. And then you were Star Fox, right?
No, I was Kirby. I was up in the air. You can never get me.
I always get a slam down. I think Tony was Star Fox.
I don't remember playing with Tony. Tony's much younger still, right? He's got 2 years on you? 1 year? 2 years.
Yeah. I think I played with Tony a lot more than anyone else. I don't know why that happened. I was just reflecting on that.
But the interesting part is how many games have you played with Tony in person than anyone else? Because I feel like I got way more games in person with you.
Me and Tony don't play anything in person.
Exactly. See, so you and I technically have more
bondage.
More bondage.
Blood brothers. We spat on our hands and we said, let's do this. Now, I do remember Christmas. We'd open the presents underneath the Christmas tree, and I would get like Battlefield. I know you didn't play with us, but it was Battlefield 3. Do you remember that game?
No, by that time, I'm telling you, by then, we were long gone.
Map, dude. It's a war zone. It really is. Like, I forgot how many players. So I'm going to make up a number. It's like 60 players on one map. So it's a huge war. I remember Tony would run to his house, and I'd put my game in, and we'll play all Christmas night. That's
you remember Rock Band?
Yeah, but those games are. I mean, I guess you could still play with Epic with Fortnite, but those games were fun. I just remember my dad making fun of me for singing.
But again, they still required. But those games, like Rock Band, I really like because that was such a casual game that brought everybody, right? Everybody can sing, everybody can hit the colors. Because on easy mode, you had 3 colors, and your strumming was very minimal.
That's true. And then I remember you were expert on Guitar Hero.
Oh man, I learned to master Guitar Hero. Not like what's his name? The guy that made a Video Game High School.
Oh, I forgot.
Jimmy Woo or something like that.
Yeah,
there's a Jimmy in there. I never got to that level, but I was pretty good.
Through Fire and Flames. But yeah, I think Jeremy, your son, right now. If I had to think, because I was thinking about this, me and McKenna were talking about Elias. He's younger than your kids by quite a bit. It's like the age gap between you and me, if anything. How old is Isaac?
8.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's about 6 years.
So even then, whatever generational change, there will be a change that Isaac's going to stop playing when he's in college, apparently. And then my kid in 6th grade, there's going to be a rift. Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah.
But, I do know that me and McKenna were talking about how we want to make Elias well-rounded. She's not going to say no to video games, but she wants him to play sports, which I think that would be cool because something that I didn't have growing up was confidence in myself. So even though I had all these friends online and stuff, it was cool. But when I started playing football, and it was more physical and team-based, I learned outside real-world confidence, if that makes sense.
But see, I never had that experience then because I never played sports.
Yeah, but yours. So I was really shy growing up. I remember. Do you remember? I could not order my own. I could not ask for ketchup at McDonald's.
Danny, you weren't allowed to exit the front door of your house.
Exactly. So I couldn't. I had no confidence in myself. I gained all that literally from freshman year. It was the first year. I remember playing football and realizing, you know what? I'm kind of big. I'm kind of tough. So if someone tries to hit me, which they're not going to hit me, but you know when you're shy and you're anxious and stuff, it's like, if this guy tries to hit me, I'm going to get beat up. No. It's like, I'll beat him up. So It's like a weird confidence I had for a while. It was like a
Have you ever
macho.
heard of the concept of big fish, little pond, big fish?
No.
So so there's this concept. I'll explain the big fish, little pond first, because it plays on confidence, and I wanted to ask you this question because I've been wanting to ask you this question for like, I don't know, they're 30 now, right?
Yeah.
So 15, 16 years.
When I was in high school.
But before, when you went to parks, your life changed.
Yeah, I had no friends. All my friends drove away. I was in the hallway for the first 2 weeks in my middle school year, eating by myself because my cousin I was with there said I wasn't cool enough to hang out with his friends. So I was literally by myself.
Well, she had all his friends because they all went
They
from
moved up.
elementary.
Mhm.
Yeah, and you went to the new school. But so there's this concept of big. Well, we're gonna come back to that. But there's a concept of big fish, little pond,
Mhm.
and little pond, big fish, right? And the idea is you can be a very very big fish in a very 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 big pond, and like it's almost like if you're a small fish, right? Because if the pond's ginormous, you're technically a small little fish,
Yeah.
right? Versus if you're just an average sized fish, but the pond is freaking tiny,
Yeah.
then you're like a very
big.
big fish at that point, right?
I can see that. Yeah.
So one of the two gives you an immense amount of confidence over the other,
The second one.
the second one. And so I know this was not your decision to make, but I feel I didn't have the problem that you had because I was a big fish in a small pond.
You were the
My
smartest guy I could tell in every
Yeah,
school you went to.
right. I was in the top 50 of 600. But you took a different path. You went to a very, very big pond where you were a very small fish.
Yeah.
And that psychologically hits you hard because it impacts your confidence.
Yeah, my confidence was pretty shot all of middle school. That's why I really genuinely relied on video games because I had no friends in the couple of months in
In the
parks.
physical role, yeah.
Yeah, I had to rely online. My clan was all I had
Because you were a big fish in the small pond there
in on Halo.
in
I
Halo.
was just really good at it. I beat everybody
Yeah.
up.
Well, being really good makes you a big fish.
Yeah, so I guess
Right.
yeah, that's my confidence was in Halo. I still look at gameplay of Halo Reach and I go, dang,
So
guys.
if you ever thought back and like, had you not gone to parks and gone to South like me, would your life have ever been different? Because
Probably because
you,
I
you gotta
always
because you
had
got to
straight
remember
A's.
that at Lincoln the Mejias were the Mejias, and nobody messed with the Mejias. So it was unfortunate for you to move because you missed out on on the coattail that I left, the drift that I left behind, or the wake that I left behind, I should say.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel I still have straight A's all like up until high school. So I was still big. I just didn't have my friends. I feel like in elementary school, all my friends were we were kind of I was friends with everybody. I was friends with the gangsters. My friend, the rocker, Misael, he's a musician. I was friends
Yeah.
with the nerds playing. I was friends with everybody. So if I would have just continued going in the same district, I'm sure I
But
would
the
have.
bars were very different, Danny. Like my bars were so low. I didn't have to try hard in school.
Yeah, and I don't know. I know that in high school I failed and I still passed because I went into high school freshman year, 8th grade going to freshman year. I did math class, so that counted as one semester of math or one semester of math. So when I did all my math classes, I know my senior year I got like 5 Fs because it's just I couldn't do it anymore. Like pre-cal and all this stuff that I don't like. It took me 2 years to do algebra too. So it's like because I
That's what
passed
the 2 is for.
double,
Boy,
but
like-
because I did it freshman year when I was actually trying, I was able to graduate. But I don't know. I think it might have affected me differently than my sisters. All my sisters, one of them's a doctor now, the other one microbiology major, bachelor's. So they're both at UCI. They both went straight to college or an actual university. I feel like my path was different only solely because I did sports. But
I will tell you though that I got a job at Google and I explicitly turned it down because of that.
which one?
That phenomenon that we just described, because
sports. Just
no,
kidding.
no, the big fish little pond thing, because I'm really, 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 really good at what I do in Jura, with respect to Jura. And in my last place where I was working at, I was untouchable. Like nobody messed with me because I was the only person that knew Jura. So nobody bothered me at all. And I got paid really, really well. I got a job at Google and I took it, but immediately I was like, wait, I am about to be the dumbest person at Google.
Mm.
Because Google hires like really, really smart people, right?
One of the people in my small group for church is he works at Google right there in Irvine. He's really smart. He has a
Right.
really big house in Tustin. Jeez, bro.
So yeah, that's kind of the point where I was like, my last job, I was uncontested, right? Nobody was smarter than me in the subject matter that I was an expert in, or that I am an expert in. But had I gone to Google, I was like, man, I'm gonna start all over. So yeah, that imposter syndrome and like downward confidence was like, nope, I don't want to even flirt with this idea.
Where my wife is different. She likes, I think her dad, if I remember the story correctly, would always, if she was the best at her soccer team, they would cycle her into another team where she wasn't the best. So she always had this upward trajectory and she has to keep getting better. And that's how she got into college playing soccer, because she doesn't want to be the best. She always wants to be pushed to achieve better. But then it's like this, up, up, up. You're always going to get better and better.
But to go back to the theme of today, which was what happened to me in gaming with you, I fell off the radar.
Best player ever.
No. I fell off the radar because I couldn't compete with you guys anymore.
I can't compete with Sony still.
But there's a tipping point though where you're de-incentivized to not want to participate anymore because the gap's just too big.
So do you think if you played, well, yeah, there's a learning curve. If you played any game you play right now with us, I will tell you right now, Junior is in that same ball game that you're at. And I'm getting there too. We can no longer compete with the next ones. You know what I mean? I feel it.
But when it's too hard, you are unincentivized to want to continue, which is an interesting thing that for McKenna to keep going, because there's a tipping point. There's a point where it's like it's too hard.
Yeah, I think the only thing that stopped McKenna from continuing to go in sports is her knees, because they were bad. I'm sure she would have kept pushing. It's just her personality. She's the one to keep pushing. Where it's like, when it comes to video games, I think it's not that serious. It's not like a career thing, right? But if she would have kept going, she could play pro and all that stuff, because she was in like the number 3 or 2 school of like private school colleges.
But again, going back to the video games, though, these are lessons that you do learn, Brett, because there is enough opposition and challenges and just upward trajectories in the game scene, especially with competitive online play, that it does simulate. I mean, esports, there's a reason why there's sports in front of the E.
Yeah, that's have you seen any esports tournaments?
Not recently.
Me and Tony watched one. I've never watched esports in the competitive scene, but there's a Halo one, and me and Tony were watching, and he told me, my team, this is him, quote from Tony, indirect quote, because I don't know word by word. My team's the best. I've been following it for 10 years. I'm going to go for, I think it was Optic Gaming, Texas, for Call of Duty. That's why he has that green brick tattoo. That's their symbol. I'm like, cool. He's like, what are you going to pick? And I'm like, I'm going to pick the lowest person, just for fun. Yeah, it was the Vancouver Titans.
I only watched 100 Thieves because I really respect what.
So 100 Thieves, right? That was the first matchup with my team, the losers. They're in the loser bracket versus the 100 Thieves, who were the favorite to win the whole thing.
Yeah,
or at least compete with Optic Gaming. My team beat them single-handedly. Like they did not win a round. And I said, Tony, this is actually really addicting. And then Tony's like, my team doesn't play till Sunday because they're waiting for the loser brackets.
The losers to get there. Yeah.
I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to keep watching my team. My team beat everyone, and it was his team versus my team. It was sick, dude. Like watching that competitiveness, I'm like, I like it. This is fun. Then I go to play competitive COD, and I'm like, I hate this. These players are way too good.
Way too good.
I can't compete, but I can watch.
Yeah, but again, but there's those bars that are set, right? And so we have two options. You fight or you fly.
Yeah, okay. I'm not saying you should play competitive with us. We probably won't want you on our team, but Like there's a thing with matchmaking where if I get too high of a level, I can no longer play with Junior anymore. Ranked. Because sometimes he gets up there with me, we can play and we can continue going forward. But last season in Marvel Rivals, he never got to the appropriate rank to continue playing with me. And then I don't even talk about me versus Tony. It's like I can never catch up to him. So all three of us cannot play ranked. We're on our own different
brackets.
basically. And then
we'll have to do an episode. We'll have to do a future episode about how to get better at video games.
Well, depending on what game. But Marvel Rivals, we all get together and we just play quick play. You be wherever you want, mess around, and see what happens. I feel like you should do that with us. You know what I mean? And if you're actually good, who knows?
Whatever happened to the casual Mario Kart gaming?
Oh, there's a new Sonic game coming out that I want to play. Sonic Racing. It's got Hatsune Miku.
Yeah, whatever happened to video gaming just being an escape from reality and your real problems of life?
That's what I do all the time, man. As soon as my family goes to sleep, I go, it's gaming time. And I play.
You're back in your...
still there, dude. It's just competitive now. It's just, that's why I like to play. You don't have to play competitive. There's a choice.
Interesting. Well, again, lots of lessons. I want to close out with the last lesson that I started with, which was I've been playing games since I was 4 or 5, and I'm very distinctly playing on the NES. Judging by your face, you probably don't know what an NES is.
No. Super Nintendo, before that was NES.
Before the Super Nintendo.
I had the remake. It was the black and gray one.
Yeah, so on the NES, there was this game with the Sesame Street and the Count Dracula.
And I suck at it.
the one that teaches you how to count.
I know. Eli likes it.
Yeah. So I remember learning my colors, numbers, and things through video games. And
who bought you the NES? Your mom or your dad?
So that was complicated. I think it was one of my uncles.
Interesting.
The SNES, I think one of my I think Tony's dad had it growing up, and I believe one of my uncles on my dad's side ended up buying for me, or it could have just been my parents. But
so your uncles were the first ones to give you your experience.
Yeah, my very first video game experiences was my uncles on my.
I always wondered that because you, like me and Tony, were talking, and we do talk a lot.
From 3 or 4 years old, but from 3 to 4 years old, I was playing games.
Yeah, you were our experience. You brought it into our house, even though my mom liked playing with you. I'm sure my mom got the games to play with you because I was too little.
Yeah. So your mom and I beat mainly her Super Mario 64. Yeah, Banjo-Kazooie,
Banjo-Tooie. Yeah, I remember watching you guys play. I do remember.
But yeah, no, I started because your dad, Tony's dad, and one of my dad's brothers and my dad, they were all like in their 20s, and they all lived together, and they were all single. And so all they did
was house.
Well, no, I mean they all lived at home, but games had just come out, like the NES had come out in like 87 or 86 or whatever year it came out, right?
My dad's really good at the game Centipede. Remember that Tron thing that came up in Disneyland where you could play Tron?
Yeah. Well, I mean, your dad and all my uncles, they all used to go to the arcades back in the day.
That's what my dad said. I've never seen anyone play Centipede before, and he was really good at it. I'm like,
yeah, my mom was all about Dr. Mario and Tetris.
Like, your mom played video games too?
My mom played video games all the way through, I want to say like 96, 97.
As soon as I was born?
She was like a competitive Tetris player on the Game Boy.
So what happened?
I don't know.
Because they were older.
I think so. I have a memory of like my mom watching me play like GTA Vice City.
She's like, oh my gosh, stop it.
But what was Vice City, like 2003-ish, 2004?
I was little. I remember watching you play that too, right?
2003. And my mom's like, she had an instinct to like run over a cop. Because like, so that's when games got too violent for her, and I think she just stopped. But I remember growing up, she would, at least through the SNES, she would play.
So what is her view on Jeremy and Isaac playing? What does she think about it?
She thinks that it's too much, but not because it's not good for them, but because of their eyesight.
That's not even a thing.
Right, but I'm like, I stare at the screen like 18 hours a day, and I'm fine.
Eye strain, and it could be a strain on your eyes, but it will never make your eyes bad. Like you can
Right.
get dry ice, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Because your eyes like this.
So that's the misconception that she usually cares. But I
Mm.
don't think that she has never told me anything about like, oh, they're playing too much, or I mean she has told me, but not again, not because of like it's unhealthy for them or anything like that. It's just mainly the ice thing.
And your wife's doing it for more of a she's just witnessing them play throughout the house, like throughout the day. Just
That- it's interesting because we were just I discipline my son's a teenager.
so you smack.
No, but he's in a challenge everything mode, right? Like
So
you were
what's
when
up,
you're.
Dad? I remember looking at my dad and knowing a dad can beat him up. So be careful. He's gonna get there. He's gonna be like,
We don't get physical, but so with Jeremy, so I give him a lot of autonomy.
Yeah.
Right.
Do your own thing, but just to get your stuff done.
And yeah, so I give him a lot of autonomy, but I'm expecting the responsibility with the autonomy, and I'm not seeing it. So right now, that's been my biggest thing to figure out. Like, okay, so I don't want to implement rules because it ruins everything, and I don't like being told what to do either. But at some point, I'm
So
hoping
what
that
is he lacking? Like getting schoolwork done, or what's
no,
he?
it's not. Self-awareness is the biggest challenge I'm working with him right now. His mind and his whole cognitive load is in the game. That as he's walking on the street, he can get ran over by like a bus, a train, a boat, an airplane. He won't see it.
Where'd that tree come from?
He won't see it because he's just like so in that world and thinking about that world that the outside world to him is non-existent, and it's just like accidentally living in it.
So he plays on the go.
He's thinking about it all day long.
Oh, so he's mentally in it. He's not playing.
Right.
Interesting. So he's always one. What's he in his mind? He's in Roblox.
That or Minecraft, but competitively, right? Because my son, I would argue, is very skilled at the games he plays. Like
That's
highly
really
skilled.
So he's just numbers in his head trying to figure out how to like,
which is why I'm not mad, because to me that's a skill that he needs. Most people might think it's a little unorthodox, but it's a skill nonetheless, and I think it's preparing him, which is why again I wanted to make this episode, because video games are not a waste of time. Like it's just perspective.
So how many hours a day do you think your son plays?
If we let him?
If you gave him, if you guys were not there, let's say free reign in the house, he wakes up at what time? Going to sleep what time? How much is he playing?
So he plays Roblox right now. I'll give you a great example from either last Saturday or Saturday before. He plays a Grow a Garden on Roblox. The creator gives out something at 6 a.m. You have to complete a challenge, so he's up at 5 a.m. so he has enough time to complete the challenge by 6 a.m. Right? He will run to midnight.
Dang, the whole day.
Yeah. He will run to midnight. Then from 5 a.m. he'll sleep like 4 or 5 hours.
Do you have bedtimes for him or no bedtimes?
He's 13, and again, I want to give him that autonomy, but I want him to arrive at the conclusion that he needs to be responsible. Because if I force it to him, he'll never appreciate it.
Gotcha.
He needs to figure out. He needs to observe that there's cause and effect.
So yeah. So is he lacking in any other, like, is his homework going down or anything? He's still doing everything well. So there is no negative effect yet.
No, which is why I let him.
Gotcha.
Other than his self-awareness, because he will crash into a tree.
Where'd that tree come from? Okay, interesting. Interesting, actually. That's it.
Right. The self-awareness, and then I think a little bit of common sense, like street common sense. Like I wouldn't put him in the middle of a street in LA, like he'd die.
Where's the garden? I gotta plant it.
So, but I'm not sure how much he needs those skills to survive in the streets of LA.
Is he different than Isaac?
No, they're both the same.
So they were both similar in mindset. Like
they both play well, except that Isaac still is more childish, right? Because he's 8. But they play the same games for the same amount of time, just for different reasons. So Jeremy's
having fun. Jeremy's winning.
Yeah, Jeremy's building an empire. He's trying to beat his last record, right? And Isaac's just like, I'm just gonna destroy this world.
Little Satan spawned in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna tear it up.
Who let this kid in my world? It's kind of funny, actually.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
so
I was talking.
but I'm
Yeah.
not concerned. My wife's a little concerned. I would say very concerned, but I'm not because I think at the end of at the end of the day, that the challenge we're giving Jeremy is if you're going to be investing this much time,
Do
we
something with it.
we fortunately at least live in an era where you're rewarded for that investment now.
Why
Because
doesn't he
you
start
and
on
I,
YouTube?
because you and I growing up, spending 12 hours a day playing video games meant nothing.
Nope. We
Right
got
now,
nothing out of it.
streaming for 12 hours a day means tens of thousands of dollars, if not more.
It might be less and less every day. I think streaming is dying.
I think
It's changing.
it's changing, but his dad's a YouTuber that studies the algorithms all day long.
That's true. But do you think Twitch is still Twitch? It's more like real life stuff now. Now it's just hanging out. The gamers are changing. At least the gaming section of it.
I don't know. I don't spend enough time in Twitch, but I do spend enough time in the streaming world to know that as long as, because you could say the same thing about baseball, basketball. It's been around for decades,
Yeah.
centuries, really. And people
So,
are always going to be like, people watch, right? Because it's something that they like, and there's something that they sometimes don't have the luxury to do, and so they go watch. So I think there's always going to be an audience for it, and there's 8 billion people and growing.
Jeremy for sure can capture the younger audience and they grew up with him, like those Minecrafters that had Minecraft when it first started.
Have you seen him play?
I've seen it one time. He was connecting some 2 dots.
It's a sight. It is a sight. Like there's a recording sign outside my door, so he knows to tone it down.
Is he yelling at somebody? Is there voice on Roblox?
No, but what they do is they go on FaceTime in a group chat, and they just FaceTime each other on there's like 10 of them in a group chat.
Like, I hate you, and I hate you. Where's my stuff, Isaac? Where's my stuff? You took it. I know you did.
Yeah, but no, I mean, my only regret about my kids playing games is that they're playing Roblox.
Yeah,
I don't see Roblox as again. I'd rather him be playing Halo and him playing Gears and him playing games that actually meant something.
Yeah, because they'll learn a story behind it at least.
Yeah,
I think that's why with my kid,
not only the story, but there's an emotion, right? There's a character building. There's connections. I'd rather him do that than whatever the heck Roblox is.
Well, Roblox is basically a sandbox. Different worlds, different objectives. But I think I was telling McKenna, for my kid, I want him to start simple. Pokemon. That's where I started. Game Boy. And then
with that monochromatic we were looking at last week, you'll be able to do that.
But I think I don't know. I don't know if we would allow him to play endlessly like I did.
I think in the long term, in the next 50 years, we are going to live in a very digital world.
Me and you will be dead. They will live in a very digital world.
Society will live in a very digital world. I don't think it's going to be possible to not be in a game all day.
I hope so. That sounds like a dream come true. Sounds like I was born in the wrong generation.
My thought process is knowing that that's coming faster than ever before, that my kids will be wearing glasses that will put them into these digital worlds, that I want them to excel in there. Because that's where the judgment. Why do we do anything in life not to be judged? Right? Like, why did you get good grades if not for your parents to show off?
Back then, why? What made me want to get
anyway? In general, like, why did McKenna push herself so hard? If not for the dad and the mom that were on the side of the field cheering her on, so that they can go talk to their friends about how great their superstar is.
I don't know.
We do a lot of stuff to impress our parents, to get our parents' approval.
Are you getting Jeremy receiving your approval?
No, because
no. Jeremy, if you're editing this.
no. Let me finish. The thought process here is the ambitions and the goals that I have for my children are drastically different than anything I ever had for myself. So
Yeah,
in
you want to
fact,
have that.
I am more proud of Jeremy playing the 12, 14, 16, 18 hours of gaming than I would for him doing any homework assignment.
Hmm.
I could care less if he does a homework assignment or not.
What do you want Jeremy to be when he's older?
I want him to put a dent in the world and I want him to build something.
So you want entrepreneurship.
Yeah, I want him to take an idea and build something. And he's learning the skills to cooperate, live digitally and cooperatively, and from a leadership perspective, build something today.
So I feel like it takes a certain personality to be able to do that.
But you see it in his creations and his games and the way he coordinates the rest of the clan, if you
I'm
will.
not saying it doesn't have it. I'm just saying it takes a special someone to do it. You have it because you're disciplined. You and my father-in-law have something very in common. You both are very, very disciplined. Now, Jeremy shows signs of that with his commitment to the video game. But so you could argue that I or Tony also had the signs because we commit to our video games. But I'm saying when it comes down to the grind of it, there's something else. There's a spark, there's an X factor. That you have it because obviously you have a house. And my father-in-law has it. But when my father-in-law
He has a bigger house closer to the beach.
inherited. But my father-in-law, when he was showing me how to run business and stuff, I don't have it. I told McKenna, I'm like, nope, I don't want to do that. I would rather work 8 to 5, get it done, get paid. But my issue is now I want to get paid well. So I got to be more specialized in
But the
something.
reason that is because you are not doing what you want to be doing.
Yeah, but like I said, doors close as you get older. In the sense that I have 2 kids soon. I cannot write the stories and the stuff that I want to do. I could, but I wouldn't. Like right now, I would take a huge. I'm barely.
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't though.
So how would I make money?
Because you're not thinking fourth dimensionally. You got to go look at Gary Vee. So you have.
Side note, really quick, is he still relevant?
Yes,
I haven't heard him in forever.
He's coming back. He's coming back.
I only remember him skating in New York. That's it.
Yeah.
Like in his little.
No, that's Casey Neistat.
Oh, okay.
No, you got to hear Gary Vee. Neistat's dead, or dead to YouTube. No, Gary Vaynerchuk is a multimillionaire trying to buy the New York Jets.
He has a book, right?
He's got many.
Gotcha.
No, but here's what I would tell you. You and McKenna have a very comfortable life. To a certain level.
My cousin Junior thinks my life is super easy. I'm like, all right, dude.
I wouldn't say it's easy. I'm not saying it's easy, but I'm saying it's comfortable in the sense that you live in one of the greatest cities in the world.
With so you're thinking big out, like more outward look.
Well, I said you're comfortable, right? I wouldn't say you're not suffering because you have. I can see food in your pantry behind you.
I have one arm. That works.
Yeah. But the point still is you live in one of the most expensive cities in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a personal choice that you make each and every day.
I was born here.
You were. But there are other cities in this great country of ours that are at 50% of the demand that is requested of you. And so you can, the environment you're in is not favorable for the life that you want to build, accelerated. You're gonna build the life you want to build, but because of the convenience that you're giving yourself and the comfort you're giving yourself, you have an uphill battle. But if you change your environment and you stack the cards with you, not against you, then you can accelerate. Because Lena and I left to St. Louis against every piece of advice that I was given. Nobody was happy that Lena and I moved to St. Louis on either side of the family.
And yet, were you happy you moved to St. Louis?
No, I was miserable for 31 months. I'm not kidding. I was miserable for 31 months. It was the worst 31 months of my life. But Lena was able to find a job in a week. And we were able to excel our careers. We were able to get clearances.
So you're saying when push comes to shove, you get it done?
No, I'm saying that it's silly. people like to play the game on hard mode when there's an easy mode, and it's go change your environment. You don't have to live in a place where your rent is $3,000 a month. There are cities where your rent is $1,200 a month,
Hmm.
but you have to go move, right? And I think a lot of people don't want to make the sacrifice. So Lena and I made the sacrifice, and I wouldn't have a $1 million house paid off today if it wasn't for the decisions that I did in 2014. I'm reaping the decisions I made today from 11 years ago.
Ultimately, though, are you happy?
Today, I only think and obsess about YouTube. So I am happy because I am in an environment where I don't have to worry about anything other than my obsession. There's no other variables, and I'm able to live where I want now. But it took me 11 years to get there.
So my lesson that I'm learning right now is I can still achieve, even if I'm older. I'm going back and I'm finishing school because I've learned with my dumbness. I'm trying to teach people that are listening to me. Get it done. get something done. It doesn't have to be school. Get something done. If you're going to write a book, write the book. If you're going to get a cert, get the cert. If you're going to get a degree, get the degree. But get it done. You don't, because when you're 18 to like 25 and you're still living with your parents, life is like chill. You know, it was very chill.
Because again, if we're going back to comfort, Danny, when you're living with your parents,
there's no push comes to shove. That's the way I'll describe it. I had no urgency.
Correct.
My urgency
until a fire is lit under your butt, you have no reason to change anything.
The fire is sleeping. She gets it going. But McKenna pushed herself out of her comfort zone when she went to school in Indiana by herself, no one else. It's kind of what you did.
And that's the sacrifice play she did for the life she has now.
Yeah, and now she's doing well. That's why when I look outwardly into my life, yeah, my life is interesting in the sense that my wife does a lot for my family, but it makes me feel like a piece of shit.
You know? And that's acceptable because biologically we're the men to provide.
Exactly.
Which again, it may come down to you may have to do the sacrificial hard play that nobody wants you to do.
So my sacrificial hard play that I'm doing right now is I'm going back to school to get my degree so I can be at least equivalent to half of what my sister is.
But why?
Because she's up here.
So?
And I just see it. I don't know. You don't talk to her like I do. But like when I say, oh man, I'm looking at Instagram and I just send reels and I'm like, dude, this Gundam, $200, that's sick. I wish I could afford that. Right now I'm trying to afford food.
But you have two things. 1.5 things. In 3 months you'll have two things.
What I just lose.
Well, it's not fully baked yet.
I see what you're saying.
You have two things that your sister will never, ever, ever have.
Once I figure it out.
No. She'll never have that.
They could.
No. Won't happen the same.
Yeah. I just know that the things are like I don't think I told you, but I told my father-in-law, and I think I told Junior. Well, when I pushed myself, like I was studying all day today. I was studying all day because every other day you need to take a test. It's a summer class. You've taken summer classes. You know how accelerated they are. They're stupid annoying. I'm taking 2. So it's like each of them are 4 units.
Yeah.
And it's accelerated. So it's 8 units accelerated in 2 months. I'm like, holy this is hard. But I'm doing it and I'm getting A's. And I'm like, I can do this. I can do this. Because my kids. And I told my father-in-law and I told Junior, I think I told Tony. My vision is I have a house that my kids can walk home to, and there's a Christmas tree, and it's our home. It's a front yard that we can decorate. You know, it's not an apartment. It's ours. So that's what I'm pushing for. McKenna did her job. She has her degree. She has a very good job at UCI. She's doing well. She can keep the family afloat. I haven't gotten a paycheck in 2 months.
Right. It's very admirable, but I still think you're playing the game in hard mode.
What do you think? I should do YouTube full time?
No, I mean, you at the end of the day, you got to do you. But again, if I was a betting person, I would tip the scales in my favor as much as I can. Because life is the one thing I tell Jeremy, because Jeremy's he's a very honest kid, right? and he doesn't like it when trying to find the right words. I'll give you a great example. He's got the realms, the Minecraft realms thing right now,
Mm.
right? It is driving him insane, absolutely insane
Sharing with his cousins or what?
that he has it for free.
Mm.
He is mad. He keeps bringing me $7 to pay for the dumb thing, or $8, however much it costs, because of a technicality. And he's mad. He's mad at me that I'm not doing the right thing.
To fix it?
Right. Because to him it's unethical. And to me it's like life gives you a bunch of lemons and every once in a while it throws you like a good fruit. Like you gotta take advantage of it.
Yeah.
And so what happened with our Minecraft was when he paid for it, it accidentally got paid out of my business account.
Mm.
Right. Well, I have a crap ton of protections on my business account. Like a ton of like cybersecurity protections on
Like
that business
fraud.
account.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I have so many that when that Microsoft transaction came through, my bank immediately flagged it, locked it, refunded it, put it like in quarantine, and said nope. Right.
But
And
it went
so
through still.
yeah, so Microsoft gave me my money, and I got an email saying on like 2 days later that hey, we refunded you, so we canceled it. But here we are, my kid's still playing it, and every day it's like killing.
Very canceled.
Yeah, so it's killing him that he's like, why aren't you paying for it? And I was like, I did, but life is hard.
I tried.
Dude, I gotta tell you, no, the best story. He's gonna be mad when he's recording this. So two or three Christmases ago, we're at Northgate on State College in Lincoln, right?
The new one.
Yeah, one by your parents' house, and
Mm.
it's Christmas. It's like I think it was like Christmas Eve or something,
Mm.
and we're standing there, and Lena, have you ever gotten cilantro?
Yeah.
Well, cilantro, there's another plant right next to the cilantro that looks just like the cilantro, but it's not the cilantro.
Yeah. Like thyme or something.
Well, yeah, parsley or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So she went to return it, to exchange it. And so we had already paid for our stuff. And so she went back. And again, Christmas Eve, tamales season, right? It's like, it's crazy, right? And so Jeremy and I and Isaac are standing by the door because we've already paid for everything except we got the wrong item. And so she just went to go do it. And I see money on the floor. And I told Jeremy, pick them up. So he goes to pick them up. And he's like, but first he's like, what am I picking up? Because he didn't see the money.
Yeah.
So he goes and grabs the money and he picks them up and then he comes over, right? And he's like, what do you want me to do with this money? I'm like, well, hold on to it for starters.
Put it in your pocket.
So he's got the money in his hands and he's right there. And there's this old gentleman, like he's got to be at least 70.
Did you steal from an old man?
No, hold up. I haven't finished the story. But this older dude, he's like,
He's got more in his pocket.
he comes in and he walks towards the registers and looks around and walks back out and leaves. And he's
He was
standing
looking
out.
for his phone. Yeah.
I don't know, but he's standing outside. And then, but it turns out he was waiting for his wife, right? Because his wife was paying. And so the wife comes through and she exits and they start walking. And then I told Jeremy, I suspect, given his behavior, given that I did not know at the time when I saw him walk in, I did not know that his wife was still paying. I led to the conclusion that the money must have belonged to him.
Yeah. Mhm.
Right. And so I stopped him and I said, but I spoke to him in Spanish. And of course, my kids are no sabe kids, right? Or
Yeah.
no sabo kids. They don't speak any Spanish. So I stopped the guy and I was asking him, did you lose anything in Spanish? To which Jeremy is like, in his face, money. And the guy like takes it and leaves. And I go, Jeremy, what the heck? He goes, I thought you said it was his money. I said, no. I said, I think it's his money. I am investigating to see.
So he's like, "Did you lose this?" "Oh, yes, I did. Thank you." So you guys were out like what? How much money was it? A lot or a little bit?
It was like $12, but I was like, but it's the principle of like, again, these are the life lessons that I'm trying to teach my kid, because that's what frustrates me. Like the fact that he'll like give a burglar, here, just take the keys, take the car. But
Yeah,
you
you
gotta
definitely want to take
question.
chances when they come.
Yeah, so that's so I and that whole lesson, that whole year turned into how you don't just hand money to a random stranger before confirming if it actually belongs. I was like,
One
you know what?
time,
I'm like, he's like 70 something years old. It was Christmas. It was his Christmas gift.
One time, my mom was going to give. We're at a birthday party. We're all younger, teenagers. She dropped $200. She pulled money out. She was going to give. Mom usually gives good gifts back in the day to the kids. You know what I mean? So I think she bought like a bunch of video games. She pulled out money, bought video games. I think it was Adam or Jacob's birthday, whatever. One of those two. We were going out of the car into Gracie's house, but she dropped more money because she pulled that money. So she dropped $400. My mom's inside. She goes, "Oh shoot! I don't. Why you dropped my money, Danny? Is it outside?" I'm like, "I don't know." So then Jacob comes in or someone, and he goes, "This old man picked up the money and he went walking, and he's walking his dog." And my mom sends me to go get the money back. So I had to run after him. "Hey, sir, did you lose money? Or did you pick up money?" My mom dropped money. And he goes, "How do I know it's your money?" It's like, well, it's not your money.
By virtue of association.
And then like 4 more kids came out and they were asking. He just gave us some money, but very, 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 very reluctantly. It's a lot of money. So, but I remember it's like, how do I know it's your money? Well, was it yours to start with? So it's kind of like Jeremy.
I was just asking, but the guy didn't even get a chance to answer the question. Jeremy was just like in his face.
Did you?
And the interesting thing is, moments before that money scenario, as we're standing next to the exit, there's a basket full of food on the floor, like already paid for. And Jeremy's like, "What do we do with that?" I was like, "I don't know. We wait for somebody to come and take it."
Like, Father, there are some mishaps here on this sidewalk. Do you see the food and the money?
All I tell Jeremy is that the rules are always stacked against you. And the whole system here, the society, the fabric of our society is set up for you to fail. Every once in a while, life throws something good at you.
Take it.
Take it. Because you never know when it's coming back.
No, I agree. If I found money, I'm not giving it to anyone. I would say, what money?
Dude, I'll tell you 2 stories in front of the GameStop of State College in Lincoln. Same parking lot. This parking lot is just full of
Not there
lessons.
anymore, by the way. The GameStop is closed.
I know it's closed. But one day we were walking home. We had a minimum day, and we went to Baskin Robbins and Togo's that used to be there in the corner.
Yeah.
And when we're walking there, my friend found like $600.
Was my mom there?
Yeah. It was right there in the same parking lot, literally right in front of the GameStop, and she found $600. She bought us all lunch. But that was one lesson.
It was a good lunch, not just like here's a $5 sandwich for each of you.
Yeah, but I wanted to close this one off because you're talking about how you look up to your sister's achievements for inspiration. But my inspiration, the reason I have achieved what I've achieved, it comes down to a visit to GameStop.
You couldn't afford something. You said, "Hell no, never again."
No, I walked into GameStop one time. I was a little, teenager just hanging out at GameStop, watching all the games and, window shopping. And some like old dude comes in. It has to be at least in his 40s. He walked in.
And walking with a golden cane or what?
No, he just walked in. He's just some guy, some white guy that walked in. And he's like, "What's new?" Like he literally asked the GameStop guy, like, what do you guys got that's new? And the guy's like, "Well, like that a trick question?" So he starts listing off like all the games that just came out. He's like, "Okay, cool. I'll just take one of each." And like to witness that and to see that money not being an object, I was like, I gotta figure out my life. And so that's what kind of eventually led me to figure out my life.
Yeah,
To which I don't know if I've told you this story, but in 2015, I got to live that dream.
You went in and I think you did tell me you bought one of everything. I'm still telling
One of everything. I walked to Best Buy in 2015 because again, the sacrifice I made to move to St. Louis, I had a lot of money in St. Louis. I walked into GameStop or Best Buy and I was like, "Give me one of everything." My next goal is to walk into an Apple store and get one of everything.
And then we'll do a giveaway.
We'll do a giveaway.
But no, that's Jessica is my white guy.
Yeah.
I sent her a reel on Instagram, a very expensive Gundam. At least $200 expensive to me. If I bought that, my wife would kill me. Like we're barely affording groceries over everybody. But the next week, It's at my house. And Jessica goes, you wanted it, right? Yeah. Well, I got it. Here you go.
Here you go.
I'm like, you're so giving. But now every time I see something on Instagram, I go, so you should see my whole feed with her. It's actually really funny. It's all like stuff I want. I'm like, you never know. Maybe next week. Maybe 2.
Okay.
She's got to order them.
Squeaky wheel gets the oil. I've learned that's another big huge lesson. My career, I saw people that did half the amount of work that I did get
Make a
twice
lot of
the
money.
amount. Sorry,
Make a lot of money.
not only making a lot of money, but get the positions that I want, or get the things that they wanted.
Is it nepotism or what?
No, I just learned that if you ask, most people give it to you. Sometimes the first time it's a no, but usually the second time it's a yes.
Alex, I want a house. Alex, did you hear me? I want a house. Second one. There you go. That was 2.
I got one in St. Louis, Missouri. It's got your name on it if you want it.
No.
That's where the catch is. See, that's where you get separated from the ones that truly want it and the ones that think they truly want
I
it.
don't want that house.
Why?
I gotta be more specific.
But
I
why?
want a house here
but
where my
everything-
wife has her job.
But okay, sure. But why does she need a job?
Because I don't have a job.
But what? Why?
You went to St. Louis with a job in California. If I go with a job, I'm just going to be another dude there that they're going to be like, what the heck?
No, but I mean, think bigger though, right? What? Why do you need a job?
So I can pay for my kids' food.
Okay, but
why do you need to pay for their food?
But how much food? How much food? Like how much food do you actually? How much money would you actually need? If your expenses were just survival, how much would you actually need?
Is this including a house rent,
No.
utility, and all that?
No,
Just literally just food.
Well, maybe some utilities, but utilities are incidental. You can't be spending that much in utilities.
Once a month, I think I spend $90.
Yeah, see, so that's
Plus 180 to 200 a week for food.
So how much do you need?
So
We'll go on the high side, 2 to 4 is
$500, $600. That's the low side.
So you need $1,000
if I don't have a house.
Yeah, you need $1,000. So how easy it is for you and your that's $500 between you and your wife, right?
What are you trying to say? Where are we going to live?
Well, again, I told you if I gave you the house in St. Louis,
like here's the keys.
Yeah, if I gave you the house in St. Louis,
like paying me $2,000 a month type of deal.
No, but that's kind of the thing I was trying to get to, though, right? Like if I give you the house in St. Louis, that house in St. Louis hits the check mark of your goals of the white Christmas, of having the Christmas tree in your house.
Oh, I
just
said Christmas.
Well, you get a white Christmas as a bonus.
No,
you get a white Christmas too.
Uncheck that box.
You get the fireplace, which there's nothing better than a white Christmas with the fireplace.
And some chestnuts roasting.
Yeah, the best thing in the world. You get everything that you're aspiring to, and all you need to do is figure out how to make $1,000.
That would be nice, but I would also be far, far, far away from you, Alex. And that is something we could not live with while you were gone. You don't know this, but we talk. We talk to each other. You were gone, and we all missed you. And I don't want to do that to my cousins. You hurt us.
There's sacrifice you got to do in life, though. But that's why you need to have a bigger picture, and you always have to have that vision and that mission, which goes back to the opening of Halo 3, right?
Yeah.
Or the opening statement. Because you have to have that vision, and I mean that Imagine Dragons.
Covenant forces, all of them are here on Earth. That is me trying to do it in SoCal, trying to do it while I'm older, trying to do it with 2 kids, trying to pay these high mortgage rates. That is my Covenant forces. I'm about to give them back their bomb, dude. You know, I don't need no easy way out. I am the Spartan. I'm 117, dude. I'm about to do it. I'm gonna do it. That's my goal.
Well, this is why you kept beating Halo and Legendary, and I'll just stick to the easy mode, because life, there's a hack, and the people that make it in life, they figured out the hacks. You should talk to your father-in-law about the hacks that he would.
Jessica, yeah, but like I said, I don't have your guys' X factor. I could, if I really, 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 really had to, I could, but I will be miserable.
But you don't have to be a business owner, though, right? Like you could. There's such a thing as an entrepreneur. You don't need to be an entrepreneur.
I'm gonna say, did you just pronounce that wrong, sir?
No, there's an entrepreneur. You can be somebody's number two
Well, that's
and
what I want to be.
make a lot of money, but you need to be so disciplined
I
that
am here every Sunday, aren't I?
I suppose.
Like, come on.
At this point, where I'm just trying to bring the relevancy back to the video game.
Guys, play Halo and you'll learn so much. Play Gears of War if you want to cry. But in every one of those games, it was a single hero or two against insurmountable odds. And I love that. The hero always wins.
And with that said, we'll end this episode here. So make sure you hit the subscribe button, and I will stand true to how we opened it up. Why everybody should play video games, as Danny just eloquently summarized it. There's just so many. I don't think neither you and I would have had the grit or the discipline or anything to get as far as we've gotten in life without the influence that video games has had in our lives.
No.
And we'll continue to do it in your children and my children, even against our spouse's desires. Even against our spouse's desires. I think you're gonna learn so much from video games that, yeah, there's different ways to learn stuff, but like I said, there's an easy way and there's a hard way, and I think everything's easy when you like it. And if your kids love or you love playing video games, then I'd start looking at the silver lining there.
And if you guys want to see me, Alex, and two of our cousins play D&D over stream, let us know.
Yep. All right. Hit that subscribe button and we'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.